Welcome back to the Soul of Generation X for another episode. Back here with my co-host Lenny. Lenny, how you doing, man?
Doing outstanding, my friend.
Still outstanding, huh? You were outstanding in the first episode. You still outstanding, huh? You still doing this?
Oh yes.
Still outstanding. You're not gonna let this pull you down. I hear you.
Nope.
Got to keep the fight. Got to keep the resistance up, right?
Exactly.
Before we jump into the meat of the show, anything going on the side? You been on any cruises? Any trips? What you got going lately?
No cruises. Not yet. Something in the near future. My future plans, probably late this year, early next year, is to take a trip to the Philippines.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes, take a trip to the Philippines. Explore that beautiful country and beautiful people there, and gorgeous women.
I got you.
Yeah, that's what I have so far on the radar. Upcoming events and a few jazz concerts.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're in the jazz. Yeah, what you got going? Any concerts going on?
I'm actually looking to go to North Carolina to listen to Norman Brown this summer. I'm a big Norman Brown fan, and
okay.
I was planning on going to Panama City. To see my favorite girl in jazz, someone who I know personally, Lindsay Webster.
Lindsay Webster, okay. Shout out for Lindsay Webster. So you're traveling to see Norman, who we all know, and then you go and you got a shout out to Lindsay. Okay,
that's my girl. Yes, sir. She actually, just a quick story. Last December, I went to the Rick Braun New Year's Eve New Year's Eve celebration, ringing in the New Year. 2-day event in Orlando, and she actually, as I'm one of her top fans, and she actually serenaded me with one of my favorite songs. So
did you get that on video for us? Did you get that so we can put it on YouTube?
I don't have that on video, but I have pictures with her, and so she knows me personally, I guess.
Personally,
yes, she knows me personally. So that was a treat, and I was really excited about that. So,
and this is Lindsay. What is her full her website? How can we find Lindsay?
Just go to LindsayWebster.com.
LindsayWebster.com.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
She is a hot ticket.
Hot ticket. Hey, audience, you hear Lenny is he's giving a shout out to Lindsay. He's giving her a 10 on the 1,000 on the 10 scale. We'll say that. So
yes.
Definitely check Lindsay out. Give her some listens on Apple Music, Spotify Music. I'm sure she's on all of the music sites, and it's good. That's great. Yes. Well, yes. I tell you, that's good to hear. You got some other things going on the side, because we definitely need that at this time of as we said, the storm last week. Because so many people are just dealing with hardships right now. Anxiety and depression is at one of the highest levels it's ever been. I believe I almost say the world. And it's definitely good to have some things on the side like that. So y'all listening, take that from Lenny and just have some things going to help you get through this best, because we're going to get through it. So we got a lot going on, man. I tell you, it's just news, breaking news coming out every morning. Every morning is something different, man. It's like, it's like what they got a circus and full of clowns, and they just, what's going on? What you got for us today? What's going on? How you want to start?
Well, we might as well just get right into it. The hot topic of the week, the day. Pete Hegseth. I don't even know if I'm saying his name right. I'm so
Hegseth, right? Hegseth. Okay.
The former couch potato on Fox News that's in charge of the defense of the United States of America.
Ridiculous.
This guy is an absolute disgrace. You don't get caught once giving away secrets on a app that anyone can
Signal, I
access.
believe, right? Signal, is
Signal,
that the
yeah,
yeah? Okay.
Signal, yeah. You do it again, and you include your wife and your brother. So this guy needs to for the good of the country, if he has any good in him, he needs to resign. Because
May I add to what that, Lynn, is that third one? Is that the one that was the former Fox anchor?
Former Fox anchor, that's why I said couch potato, like comfy couch.
No, I'm saying she was the woman.
Oh yeah, she was. Yes, she was.
So that's a double whammy, basically.
A double whammy.
Okay.
I mean, it is an absolute disgrace. Anyone else, any foot soldier, any subordinate would have been fired immediately. Any general would have been fired immediately. Because you're talking about the lives of the men and women who already put their lives on the line. Yes, but now you got a braggart and a big shot who's so caught up in his own vanity that he exposes some of our top military secrets and our personnel. Yeah. And I think it's an absolute disgrace that he's still in office as of right now. You know, he should be fired. He should have the courtesy enough to step down because he's not qualified. He is absolutely not qualified for the position. So you got a guy that's a drunkard and an alcoholic, DUI, running the U.S. military. And I just feel bad because our men and women who sacrifice so much as well and their families has to be subject to a blabbermouth. Can't hold his water, can't keep secrets. You know, on the streets, he would have gotten his ass kicked for telling stuff.
Basically,
he would have gotten his ass kicked for running his mouth.
Yeah,
and I just think it's an affront to our military. And I'm sure you could speak, you know, more in depth to that because you have someone that's close to you that's former military and possibly reserve and could be called back into action if needed.
Yeah. I my youngest son, who you know well, former military, Army vet, non-law enforcement, but still could be doing reserve duty, which he spoke about. You know, I don't know what I would say if he was still enlisted right now. I would feel that he's not safe. I don't feel that any enlisted man or woman is safe in our country with this drunkard, as you said, overseeing, quote unquote, the military. It's a disgrace. We're an embarrassment. I believe on this last incident, there were, I believe there were fighter pilots somewhere in the area that their location could have been given up. And some other things that came up. Did you hear about that? That the last incident? I mean, it's just when you hear something like that, it's just all these people that I saw some people on Instagram the other day so happy that their daughter was graduating from basic training, and I'm like, you know, this is not right, you know.
Well, the thing about it is scary because what he's doing and what he has done has opened the United States up for all kind of cyber attacks, terrorist attacks. You know, when I say cyber, I include poison of the water, shut down the electric grid, strategic locations of our troops and armored personnel.
Yeah.
So he has done a disservice to the United States of America, and I don't understand why these people that's in the, you know, these people that can get him out of office, presumably Donald Trump, can't see that. It's a gift to our enemies. It is a gift to the people who want to take America down, who want to see America suffer. And, you know, he cannot be trusted with top military secrets. Nor could Donald Trump be trusted with top military secrets. Anyone who got top secret information in their bathroom, laying around like, their Jet magazine or some other magazine is not worthy to hold a seat of commander in chief as well.
Exactly.
So I see where you're coming from. It's a pretty scary situation. Mm-hmm. It's a pretty sticky situation, as we used to say back in the days. Mm-hmm. And I just feel that this country needs to do better. That we have to hold people accountable. If we can hold the subordinates, the generals accountable to their actions. He just fired C.Q. Brown, the top 4-star general, black man. For no apparent reason. This man gave 40 years of his life to the service of the United States military, and to be fired. There was another general that was just fired. Yeah, there was a woman that was fired. So, Pete Hegseth needs to do the right thing and fire himself tonight.
Oh, so I was just getting ready to ask you that. Do you see? Do you think this man should give it up, or is somebody going to put him out, or will they put him out? They've called for his resignation, like all day, last couple of days, right?
Yeah, correct.
Why haven't we heard anything?
Well, he was at the Easter egg roll Sunday. He's been combative. He's been stringent.
Yeah.
He's putting the blame on everyone else. He actually fired. The
left. Did he say the left media? The left something he said about the left media does something to him. Blah blah blah. I think he's hallucinating on that because we don't hear anything from the news. Period. The news is not reporting news.
Well, I've been watching MSNBC most of the day when I had time, and some independent news. The Young Turks, they've been covering it.
Young Turks, yeah. But CBS Turks. And NBC and ABC, just the networks, they're not. I think they're scared that like this lawsuit that they got against 60 Minutes right now. Your president.
Yeah.
I think the network news outlets are scared. Now, MSNBC, a little bit different, you hear things about that too. But, just CBS, NBC, ABC, you're not hearing the news that you should hear.
Right. You have to go to different outlets because some of the corporate media have cowered down, just like a lot of the Republicans have cowered down and given in to this fascist administration. Personally, I want to see Pete Hegseth resign. He needs to step down. He is an absolute disgrace to this country.
But he's not going to resign. You know it. Well, how do we in this first segment, we got a little bit of time left. How do we get him out of there? Because what do we need to do, Lynn? What has to be done? Because he's not going to resign. You know that.
Well, you're going to have Republicans join with Democrats and put pressure on the Trump administration to get him out of there. You're going to have to protest and rally. Write letters. I mean, what good that would do, but Trump won't read it anyway.
There was a Republican senator, I believe, who spoke up today about Hegseth and calling for his resignation. I don't know who.
There was a couple that stepped up.
So we need that. That's what we need.
We need that. We need that. We actually, I hate to say it. Well, I don't hate to say it, but you need members of the military to speak up. You need former military, come out and start speaking up and say, this guy got to go. This guy is horrible for morale. It's total chaos at the Pentagon.
That's true. Yeah, we got to get people, former military, and just I think people just in general, no matter if we red party, the blue party, the green party, we just got to be the people party. You know what I'm saying? We just got to come up and just get some common sense and just say, hey, man, this is it's enough of this crap, you know?
Right. I agree.
I mean, that's what's got to happen because your president isn't going to say anything. I don't believe he even spoke out about the shooting at Florida State University last week. I don't believe he gave maybe a 2 or 3 word comment about it, which was really sorry, if you want to, the best way I can describe it, right?
Yeah, the only words I heard him say was he mentioned it and he said he's going to get more information. Now, that's the last I've heard of him mention it.
And that's all you're going to hear.
That's all you're going to hear.
But then you think about it, do you really expect this, whatever he is, to not condone this kid who's wearing a red hat with his MAGA words on it, and it said he's a you think he's really going to speak negatively about that, something like that? I mean, just honestly, do you think he's gonna? I don't think he has the.
Oh no, no, he doesn't have the capacity. That's just not in him. It's never been in him. You know, Donald Trump has never had compassion for anybody but himself. Yeah. You know, anyone who takes his deceased wife who allegedly fell down the stairway and broke her neck, and then to get out of paying taxes on your golf course, you bury her on the golf course and say it's a cemetery, so you have to pay taxes on it.
Yeah, that's cold blooded.
Yeah, I mean, not even to give the woman a proper burial in the cemetery, you do it for personal gain.
That's cold blooded.
Yeah,
I don't believe. Sometimes I think he is actually a robot. I don't think he's a real a human being. I don't think you ever heard of shapeshifters. I'm serious. I don't think he's real. I think he's AI created. But then that's something for another show. Had to add that in there, folks. Had to mess with Lynn. But so we're gonna finally say this, that Hex up these two resign. Everybody's calling for his resignation for the good of the military, for the good of all our family and friends and family who are in the military, and for the good of this country. He needs to go. That's where we're going to end it up. And we're going to take a break and be right back after this message. Welcome back to the Soul of Generation X. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, iHeart, and now YouTube. Yes, we are now transatlantic on YouTube, coast to coast. But yes, so just wanted to throw that in there. Now we're going to get into what we call this terrible the stock market woes. And we can say that the stock market is currently experiencing significant turbulence, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 9.1% in April, which is its worst monthly performance since 1932. Can you believe that? And this downturn is driven by a combination of aggressive trade policies by you know who, political interference in monetary policy, and broader financial instability. So, Lynn, what are your thoughts on this?
Oh, I'm glad you said that because I've been in a heated discussion today with some people about on social media about the stock market, Donald Trump's economy compared to Joe Biden's economy and Barack Obama's economy. Well, to me, there's no comparison, but MAGA's going to make an argument for this disastrous economy regardless. Mm-hmm. So the stock market last week and the weekend lost over $10 trillion. $10 trillion out of the American economy. Gold, an ounce of gold has spiked to $3,500 an ounce. Mm. All right. S&P is down 18%. NASDAQ down 27%. And the so-called brilliant terrorists are putting people out of work, costing farmers their farms, costing manufacturers, small businesses, they're closing down. Mm-hmm. It's costing people their careers. Mm-hmm. So this brilliant idea that Donald Trump thinks that we're going to tariff everybody to get our fair share is a losing argument. And I think we went over this some last week, last time that we spoke. We know that there's an unfair trade deficit with America and some of the other countries, but it's to our national benefit that this happens. Mm-hmm. So you get into a tug of war with China. I read where China said they don't care. They don't care about the tariffs. They've been around for 5,000 years. They cannot last in the United States.
And on that note, did you see what the outstanding president of Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum, what she did today? Or did you see what
did she
happened?
do today?
Oh man, she has given Temu and I think Shein, the companies that were based in China, she has given them rights to come to Mexico, build warehouses, workstations. She's going to also have it where Americans can come over to Mexico and shop tax-free.
Oh, wow.
And you didn't hear, I guess that was late breaking on you, huh?
Yeah, late breaking on me because I've been in heated discussion most of the day. So,
oh man, she is Temu, and I'm sure you're familiar with Temu and Shein. Some people say Shine, Shein.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
They're gonna build warehouses. They're gonna build. I guess they're gonna have housing. It's gonna bring a tremendous amount of jobs to Mexico. And I'm just amazed with Claudia Sheinbaum. She is an amazing lady. She's an academic. I think she has a degree in nuclear physics. She's the president. She's not scared at all of this person we call our president. And she'll stand up to him in a minute. She'll sit him down in a minute. And I think he's scared to mess with her. So, which is, you never hear him bring her name up because he knows she doesn't play. So, I am just amazed at what she's doing. on that note. I just wanted to throw that in there
Well, that's
because,
good.
as you said,
That's good.
China
Good to hear.
doesn't care, and they don't
No,
care. So
they don't care.
yeah,
They don't care. See, Donald Trump is trying to blame everyone.
yeah.
The Fed chief, Mr.
Mm-hmm.
Powell, he's trying to get him to lower interest rates. Oh, you lower interest rates. Oh, I'm going to fire you. Making all these threats. He even backed off that today. No, I'm not going to fire the Fed chief and blah, blah, blah. You know, the guy, you know, and I tell these MAGA people, I've been on it all day with these MAGA people, letting them know it's okay to admit that this guy is a loser to the economy. But they refuse to budge, refuse to give ground, refuse to give credit. Credit is due. Like I told the guy today, I said, listen, Trump inherited two great economists, two good economists. One from Obama and the other one from Joe Biden. And he ruined both of them in less than 6 months.
Yes.
You know, I said, oh, well, what has Joe Biden done? I said, let me tell you what Joe Biden done. His strong labor market under Joe Biden. He signed the CHIPS and Science Bill Act, Inflation Reduction Act, more health coverage for Americans. He reduced the price of prescription drugs. We had a robust GDP growth of 3.4%.
Okay.
Unemployment was low as 3.5%. The Jobs Act was passed to repair roads, bridges, airports, and railways. It also increased funding the trade schools, community colleges, HBCU wages increased to offset any kind of inflation that was on the horizon, but we never hit a recession, so that was good. And Biden had the lowest unemployment and highest hourly gain for workers since 1964. He limited the junk fees and overdraft fees that banks could charge you, which Trump just reversed. Now you're going to start getting these high overdraft fees now, and all these other fees that credit card companies want to charge you. Right. And the biggest thing about it, we had no tariffs. We wasn't at war with the whole world. One man has brought the whole world together against the United States, and that guy's Donald Trump with his disastrous economic policies. So I asked the guy, tell me something in either one of the Trump economies, that legislation that he passed that has benefited the American people. And I said, listen, not the 1.9 trillion tax break that he gave to the millionaires and billionaires his first term, because anybody making under $400,000 a year won't see a dime of that tax break money. So, and I'm still waiting to hear back from this guy who has been texting me all this other stuff most of the day. He has not answered my question. Nor can he answer my question. And I said, listen, don't tell me about executive orders, because that's not policy. Something that he actually went and legislated with the Congress to get passed for the American people. And so far, I have not heard back from him yet.
Is he what can he say?
Yeah. Oh, well, he can try to talk about Obama had this, but Obama inherited a mess. Joe Biden inherited a mess. And if you look at it, in our recent years, even up under Reagan, and I told somebody, which I'm not ashamed to say, that the first president I voted for, his second term was Ronald Reagan. Okay, so that's out there. But under every Republican president in our recent memory, since I started voting, the economy has went down. And every time the Democrats elected, the economy was brought back to life. People were working, wages were high, unemployment was low, and everything was moving along fine. So there's nothing he can tell me, because that's facts.
That's true. Yeah, that's there's nothing he could tell you. And you basically touched on every part of from Joe Biden to even President Obama. So what advice do you have for our fellow soul Generation X's out there, and just our listeners, period? Because we start out basically. This is talking about our basically stock market on this. That's how we got into this part. What advice do you have for that person out there that's maybe worried? What am I going to do? I mean, you're a survivalist, and you're always thinking in that mode. What advice do you have for that person out there to keep them out the, going to the bar and drinking it up, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What you got for them, Lynn?
Well, I would tell them, take a step back, take a deep breath, analyze the situation. And I would also tell the MAGA people, the Trumpers who are feeling the pinch, you got to reevaluate what you do, how you do it, where you spend your money, and how much you're going to spend. Now is not the time to go out and buy any big ticket items. No new cars, no new boats, none of that stuff. I would also encourage people to start stocking up on non-perishable food.
Really?
Water.
So you still think we're going to get there? You're still thinking that?
I do. I think this economy is going to hit rock bottom because you got to look at the dollar has fallen against every other currency in the last few days, and it's once the dollar starts falling, it's going down.
And just to be really, like, say, we try to explain things here, to be like really elementary about the dollar. Say somebody gets on a cruise to go somewhere, right? And they want to take some American dollars, money, to exchange for currency to spend in that particular country that they're in, right?
Correct.
So that dollar has dropped. So when they get to that country and exchange that currency, what they would normally see, it's basically dropped in. Would you say half? I mean,
well, it depends on what country you go to. You're going to
say you're, like you said, the Philippines,
right?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure, and I got to check the currency ratio.
Yeah. The ratio, yeah.
Now than when it was in January, less than 6 months ago. I'm sure that the dollar has lost a little value to the Filipino pesos. So, and that's the kind of uncertainty that the markets don't want to hear. The stock market lost over 2,000 points last week.
Mm-hmm.
They lost, they lost another 2,000. Yeah, twice. Right, and it's sad because all of this could have been prevented. All this is self-inflicted wounds.
Yeah.
This is a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the foot, to the knee, however you want to put it.
But we told him. She told him, Lynn. She told him.
She told him.
We told him.
Yes.
Project 2025 was out there. You could buy the books. You just didn't want to see, I'm saying, a black woman as president of the United States. You'd rather be broke, have your 401k turn into a 101k, as you said.
Yep.
Eggs up maybe $15 for you know it. You run around here, you're nervous, you're scared. You'd rather be all of that than vote for this woman who you couldn't. Well, he came out and said, "I don't know, are you black today?" What did he say that day? Well, I thought you were black. You want to be black.
You want to be black. You want to be this. You want to be that.
Filling people's hands up with this mess as he's good at doing, and he did it, and they believed it.
They believed it.
And you FAFO, and now you're going to find out. We weren't trying to hurt you. Nobody was trying to hurt anybody. You just could not stand to see that black woman.
Right.
That black woman that was going to bring you freedom, great rates on everything. I mean, economy just she's going to.
Yeah.
But what? I just systemic. It was what
Oh
we
yeah,
call systemic.
that was straight systemic racism at its
Systemic
highest.
racism.
It was racism at its highest. This election was about race, and I hear people still to the day say, "Oh, Obama ushered in the racism in this country." Oh my God,
that is ridiculous.
I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous.
That is
ridiculous. That shows you the level of ignorance, and I'm going to say the ignorance of MAGA white, Christian, quote unquote, cross wearing, Bible thumping Christians, and also some blacks and Hispanics.
Yeah, everybody.
The ignorance of them.
That group. They became that group. And for why? What reason?
Right.
Well, I mean, what are you getting out of it?
Right.
Like you said, if you don't make at least $400,000 a year, what do you? I mean, what are you getting out of it?
Exactly.
So I mean, I just the hate of. That's why I don't. I can't. Like you said, I can't argue with somebody. First of all, you got to be a taxpayer.
Yeah.
Okay, you got to be a taxpayer. You got to be a voter. Right? I mean, if not, it's no use even arguing with you about what's going on.
Right.
You don't have a clue.
You don't have a clue.
You think you have a clue, but you don't.
Right.
But you got to be vested in this country as we have since, man, how many years it's been now? You go back, and so you wonder some of these wild observations you hear from people.
Right.
What are you getting out of this?
Yeah.
Whether, like you said, whether they be black, white, Hispanic, what are you getting out of this?
Yeah.
If you're not making at least 400,000.
Yeah.
You know what I
mean? In blue collar, people that go to work every day and get a paycheck at the end of the week aren't even in that tax bracket.
No.
So, let's stop pretending and fooling ourselves that this guy economy is for us, because it's not. This economy is geared. This economy is geared toward the millionaires and the billionaires of this country. If you're not making over $500,000 a year, you won't see any of that. You will not reap the benefits of this economy.
No, you. I mean, I want to say I don't understand, but a lot of times I do understand, and it's just really sad that that guy you see at work, at your coworker or just somebody and you find out that that's what they're about. It really kind of you almost kind of take it personal in a way, because what we're believing in is not something that's going to hurt that group. You know what I'm saying? Right. We're believing something for everybody.
Yeah.
But you take that side, you wanting to do something that's going to affect and hurt someone. So you don't have any care or for someone that as they say, that you can't see. We're caring for people that we can't see. That person that's at the end of that little bitty island out in the middle of the Atlantic that the USAID was helping. I think they said last week, what is it? What the USAID would get from somebody per year, a taxpayer, would be like the equivalent of what? Less than $50?
Yeah. I mean, it's
something like that. I mean,
pennies on the dollar.
That sounds about right per person.
Pennies on the dollar that goes out toward each individual to
help your family, your future family, your friends stay safe and healthy.
Yeah.
Less than $50. I mean, you go to a fast food restaurant and spend that in no time.
Yeah. You tip that much.
You tip.
Yeah, you tip that much.
You tip, exactly.
So you think about what you would give in a tip. That tip, let's say you gave a $20 tip to that waiter or waitress. That $20 tip could go and feed 5 or 6 boys and girls for a whole day.
More than that, probably.
Probably more than that, depending on the country.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's what he's, and it just didn't hurt. I mean, it affected the churches, the missionaries who are all across the world trying to do what is right.
Mm-hmm.
They've been affected.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're getting hit. So nobody's escaping this guy.
No.
Look what happened. I don't know if you know this, but the people, I think in Kansas, or was it Sarah Sanders is Arkansas. So Arkansas was hit with floods.
Yeah.
So Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton, who's been just a total jackass in the Senate, has advocated for other states not to get federal funds. But now that his state just got hit with floods, he's begging Donald Trump to release some funds to his state because they need help. And you know what Donald Trump said? No, sir.
What did he say?
No. So the guy don't care who you are. You can be friends one day and the next day you're an enemy to him.
Yeah.
And I don't feel sorry for Arkansas and Tom Cotton. I feel bad for the people that got suffered. But he didn't give a damn when New Jersey was going through and they needed help.
Nope. Yep.
All right. He didn't care about Virginia when they needed, or California when they needed help with fire. He voted no for the federal funding.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now that his sorry state is in need and he's got his hat in his hand begging, and he gets turned down.
And that he signed that bill to have kids work, didn't he? Like what, 14 years? You hear about that?
Yeah, in the state of Florida for sure.
No, in Arkansas they signed it. In Arkansas.
Well, they followed. Florida followed Arkansas.
Florida, okay.
They follow Arkansas.
Right. Okay.
And I don't know what parent in their right mind would have their kid working overnight on the school night just because these idiots placed out all the good labor that, not only the good labor, but the people that were paying taxes
billions
in the U.S. economy and was not getting the benefits of those taxes that they were getting taken out of their check.
Billions.
Yes.
The as they said, undocumented. Okay. Yeah. I mean, harvesting our vegetables or fruits, doing jobs that Americans are not doing. Right. And I mean, they've been out there. We said it because they've been offered 12 hours, 14 hours a day, and paying billions of dollars in taxes every year, which the people who voted pushed them away. You just like you taking some money and throwing it out of your window, lighting it on fire first, then throwing it out the window. Make sure it burns up.
Right.
That's basically what you're doing.
Yep. Yeah, basically. So I told the guy, and I've been in a discussion most of the day.
You've been on and on.
So I'm like, okay, you talking about immigrants because one thing he learned from this and that. So I just appeased him. I did like my guy Dean Withers. Just had a conversation with him on facts. So you mean to tell me all of a sudden immigrants matter? So I didn't see anybody calling ICE on these immigrants when they were cutting the grass. They pull up in a trailer with, and 10 people jump out, cut the grass in the whole neighborhood. I didn't see anybody calling ICE on them then.
No.
So when you needed that debris picked up from the hurricane, nobody called ICE on these guys and these men from then. And when you needed that roof redone on your house from the hurricane, you didn't get up there and say, I got 5 or 6 Mexicans doing my roof, come pick them up. So it's straight up hypocrisy. It's utter disbelief. And these people are so fake and phony that it's unbelievable. I call them out on that bull crap because no one called the police or ICE on them then and wanted to have them deported when they were benefiting from them. It's just these people are nothing but foolish hypocrites.
Yeah, they're foolish hypocrites. But one bad part of it too is some of them, like we kind of would, growing up, we knew, you knew who would go that way. But see, now it's gotten to a corporate side, to where, and we know that because, what was it, 60% of the vote, Caucasian males, 2 out of every 3 Caucasian women. And that's a lot of people. And it's just not the person that's down the street with that MAGA hat on and that Confederate flag flying in their front yard.
No, it's not.
It's that $1 million house down the street there in one of these neighborhoods and with the Tesla in the driveway and and whatever else you got there, and and you're finding out more, like, wow, I didn't know that person would, because they didn't think it would happen to them. I didn't think it would happen to us. We're voting for so and so, but it wasn't supposed to happen to us.
Exactly.
And so yeah, it you just don't understand, but maybe it needs to happen. And I keep looking at it that way. Maybe this needs to happen as like a cleanse to this hate, this racism, hatefulness, and sometimes people you wouldn't even expect, people that look like you.
Yeah.
It's like, man, it's like, let's go back 400 years. Let's go back. Let's if we can go back in time, take the same 400 years. Let's see if all of us could make it across this field and escape. And I'm just saying, you just thinking in your head now, you look like me.
Right.
Do you not think you above the law? Right. I mean, so when you see somebody that looks like you, that's been in the struggle, that knows what it feels like, and they say something or have a inkling to, like, what's your boy name? Byron
Donaldson.
What is he? What is he? Is he a waste or what?
He don't know what he want to be. He doesn't know who he wants to be.
Does he know who he is? Where he came from? Does he have an idea, or did he just? I don't know.
He's another babbling, talking head that's sucking up like a leech, trying to get ahead or think that's going to get him somewhere politically.
Think it's going to make him governor? Is that what he think? You think he's going to be the governor? Is that what he's?
Fat chance of that.
Is that what he's? Yeah.
But I look at it like this. I agree with you. I think this cleansing has to take place. I think America has to hit rock bottom. When I say rock bottom, the economy, and I think it's going to be a humbling experience for a lot of Americans. We always hear, the American exceptionalism. We've always, when I say we, because I live in the country, but thought that, said that, we're better than everybody. We're this, we're that. We're American exceptionalism.
Mm-hmm.
But it was stolen off the back of immigrants. It was achieved on the hard working of slaves. Yeah. Right? It was stolen from the indigenous people. Yeah. So you're staking claim to something that you really don't have any claim to. So it has to be a cleansing and a humbleness, a breaking down of the arrogance that this country has lived under.
You know what?
Years.
I thought about it this way too. I'm always looking at these odd, strange ways. I'm thinking about that cleansing, but me, I'm looking at these. I watch all this, sci-fi, these horror movies, and I come up with some craziness. I thought about, we get upset with these people and we say, man, it's systemic racism and blah, 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 blah. But think about it. Let's think. Let's go back. Let's go back to 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th grade, right? In our history books, we call it social studies, right? Do you remember seeing anything, and this is speaking for them, not us. Do you remember seeing anything that would even lead them to not think the way they're thinking? Think about it. You know what I mean? They're taking their history on what's been in those books, which a lot of it has not been honest and
Right.
truthful, or we'll say just on what they wanted it to be on. You know what I mean? Just
Right.
it just centered on. So what I'm trying to get at is, can we actually should we actually be blaming these people that we're calling, racist and hateful, if they didn't really have the facts either? You know what I mean? Wait, then you think about it. They. I'm just really wild. Just a wild. Just something I'm coming up with. They didn't really have we all looking in the same book, whether we black, white, Hispanic, Asian. We all remember this. We were all
Mhm.
looking in that social studies book.
Right.
They didn't go to a class by themselves. We didn't go to. We're all looking in that. So the the I don't say the Department of Education or the consensus that gave us those books, should we blame them? You know what I mean?
Well, I would say yes and no. Yes, we didn't have all the facts of history back then. Matter of fact, we probably did have the fact they just didn't publish it. But
Yeah.
and I would say no, because now that we have access in the 21st century, our thinking is still primitive. I think it is still primitive. We have people, Generation Xers, what this show is about, talking to our generation, it's still primitive. Well, actually, I think it's even further backwards than where we were talking about, being in third grade and reading the history books. So I can't just let this generation off the hook that easy, because we grew up in an era where we all played together. We didn't really look at color. I didn't see some of my white friends as white. I saw them as people. I saw them as people I'm having a good time with, and that
Yeah.
we shared a lot of memories with, and I hope the friendship will last forever.
Yeah, exactly.
So we ushered in a time of transitional change in this country. Our generation did that. We introduced hip hop.
Yeah.
We introduced breakdancing and rap music.
Mm-hmm.
So something happened where some of them, probably some of them turned back the hands of time and thought, hey, it'd be a good idea to go back and think like my great granddaddy thought or my grandfather thought. So no, I'm not going to let them off the hook that easy.
Mm.
Because if you notice, if you ever go back and listen to Muhammad Ali's old tapes, he was fighting the same fight for us back then that we got to fight today.
Yep.
So that's my take on it.
Yeah. I can see where you're coming from on that. I just, you met me halfway on that, which was good, because I just thought one day, like, they, Jim Bob down the street that we knew, Jim Bob was going on all what was presented to them. Nobody was presenting, the Thanksgiving, how Thanksgiving really, really was, and how,
Right.
Native Americans weren't getting along with Pilgrims like they were making it look.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. That's something we could look more into later. So what was that one final topic we were going to look into this evening?
Well, real quick, I guess this is breaking news. Donald J. Trump will deliver the spring commencement address as part of a separate ticket event prior to his graduation ceremonies at the University of Alabama. It will be held Thursday, May the 1st at Coleman Coliseum, according to the release.
Mm.
Wow. Wow.
Don't
I would not be attending that. You can mail my degree because I'm not going to sit up on there and listen to a 34, 32-time convicted felon, pussy grabber.
I knew that was coming.
Give me any kind of promise, speak any kind of words over me for my future. So you could just put mine in the mail. I would not be attending. It is
you think you're really going to show up?
Disgrace. I wouldn't even show up. I would go right now to the financial aid office, to the degree office, and say, listen, forward mine to my home address. I will be home.
I know that.
This is an absolute travesty. As much as this guy has attacked, and I didn't want to even get off the subject, as he has attacked colleges the last 2 weeks, for him to show up and want to give a commencement address to the University of Alabama. Wow. Outstanding.
The Crimson Tide.
Yeah. Alabama.
Well, I tell you, something we have to look more into on that. That was just we'll call that our filler.
Yes.
Filler topic there, but we're almost out of time, and just wanted to wrap it up and just summarize on what we should be thinking about, and what we'll probably be keeping an eye on for the next show. What do you got?
Well, what we got for the next show, I think that some of the things we might want to cover and look at is colleges and how colleges, and I guess it'll be a segue for the next time with the University of Alabama, how colleges funding have been on the chopping block and how they have been targeted because of free speech by the Trump administration. And not only that, he has rescinded the student loan program where they have to pay back the loans, or their wages could get garnished, or their income tax and their pension could be taken if they don't reimburse the government for the student loans that they got to go to college. Political speech has been stymied at these colleges, and I just think it's a travesty. But one other thing I want to say before we go, the Pope passed away this week. And the president couldn't even utter a decent response to it. And later on that night, he went on with a rant and a tangent. But, the man, I don't know too much about Catholicism and the Catholic faith, but I do know the man tried to bring peace, love, and compassion wherever he went. And that's more than I could say for the guy that we got in charge of this country.
Way more than you can say, yeah. No, that's right. So okay, that sums it up, and we'll be keeping an eye out on this Hegseth situation, and maybe have something for y'all next week on that.
Can I give a shout out to all of my friends and extended family that are listening over in the Philippines?
Sure can. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Just give a shout out to my friends and people that I know that are living in the Philippines who have possibly tuned in to, or will tune into this broadcast. And just to give a shout out to you and say that this is the soul of Generation X, and we do it like none other.
Outstanding. Shout out to you all over there in the Philippines as well. From the soul of Generation X, which we are actually the soul of Generation X, but we are the soul for all. We speak and stand for all. We believe in unity. We don't believe in hate. We believe in bringing togetherness for all. And if it takes a cleansing to do that, then that maybe is what we need. So We appreciate y'all for joining us once again on this second season of the Soul of Generation X. We want to once again thank my co-host Lenny here for always his timely observations, and we're going to keep an eye on what's going on in our country, and we're going to help guide you through situations, and we're going to get through this. So we will see you next week. Anything else, Lenny? You good?
No, we're good, man. It's been an outstanding show. We just gotta keep our head above water and keep dog paddling until we get to the top, baby.
Keep reaching for the stars. All righty. Well, great observations there. All right, folks, we will see you on the next episode of The Soul of Generation X. Y'all take care.